Hello, everyone. This is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is a Q&A episode, so let's actually get started, shall we? So, Nicholas, you got some questions here. Your first one. What do you think of the Carnotaurus designs and skin colors in both Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion? I think Carnotaurus was actually one of the most accurate depictions in the Jurassic World trilogy, because when you look at it, it looks very scientifically accurate. Now, I'd probably say that there might be a few things that are a little bit inaccurate, but even though that, when you look at the design, pretty spot on. Pretty spot on. The osteoderms are actually pretty cool. The skin looks really nice, especially on the face of the animal. The colors, I don't mind them. I don't mind the colors have like a dark red type of colors with a little bit of black on the bottom. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, good question. Have you heard about the new studies on that Saurophaganax might be a sauropod, and what do you think about this new study? Yes, I have actually looked at this study, and so what this study is actually saying is that Saurophaganax might be a chimera type of dinosaur. So basically, it's it's basically multiple species of dinosaurs combined into one. Basically, the fossils. And so, what the study is actually saying is that some of the material that is described as Saurophaganax, some of that is actually some of the fossils, and mainly some of the vertebrae, are actually from sauropods, mainly from a diplodocid. And so this could be like a new species of diplodocid that we actually might have, that scientists have found. But of course, back then when Saurophaganax was found back in Oklahoma, this dinosaur, so what these paleontologists were doing was that they were just collecting collecting fossils most of the time. They were just collecting the fossils of that Morrison Formation. But they didn't really understand of that, some of the bones were not actually theropod. They were actually more sauropod. There is theropod material. It's just that the theropod material is very similar to Allosaurus. And so now we might have a new species of Allosaurus, that we would actually consider to be the largest Allosaurus that we actually know of. But it is still to be determined. It's got to go through a bunch of other types of studies to actually make it be fully confirmed. And so, but this does bring up the question: what other types of dinosaurs that were actually given certain names that were probably chimera? One is actually there's another type of dinosaur that is considered to be a chimera, is Dakotaraptor, and so Dakotaraptor could be a chimera, could be a mixture of different types of theropod dinosaurs combined into one. Now, even though there is a dromaeosaur claw that was found, it's just that we don't know if Dakotaraptor is that, from that killing that claw from a dromaeosaur is Dakotaraptor, and is some of the other fossils not really Dakotaraptor. But we have to determine about that one yet. But yeah, Saurophaganax right now is considered to be invalid, but it might be. But Saurophaganax might be given. The name Saurophaganax might be given to a sauropod than, say, a theropod. And so we might have an Allosaurus anax as to be a new species of Allosaurus. But yeah, I have read about this study. What do you think of Sinoceratops, the first large horned dinosaur in China? And do you think that it's possible that there are other large horned dinosaurs in China and other parts of Asia? Yeah, Sinoceratops is actually a really cool dinosaur. I don't know too much about it, but I do know that it is it's one of the largest ceratopsians found in Asia. And so could there be another ceratopsian that could be bigger than Sinoceratops? Maybe. If it was found in Asia, maybe. But we'll see about that. We shall see. All right, Luke Zilla, you got a couple questions for me. Could Postosuchus survive in modern day Africa? I think it could, but the problem is it's going to have to compete with some of the mammalian predators. So like lions, leopards, cheetahs, and even hyenas, and even of course humans. And so it would probably survive for a little bit, but like competing with the other mammalian predators, that's going to be a problem for Postosuchus. I'd say Postosuchus would survive for a very short period of time, but it would not last very long. It would not last very long because of competing against mammalian predators. Your second question. Which place, in your opinion, is more dangerous? Peter Jackson's Skull Island or Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park? Ooh, good question. So Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park, mainly the book, the novel, the book is actually a lot more scarier than what it is in the movie. And this type of Jurassic Park, it's very lush, jungly like type of environment, and of course the dinosaurs are roaming free most of the time, and of course there's barriers, of course, but like of course in the movie you can definitely tell that the barriers do actually malfunction, or the ways they fail, and the dinosaurs just start roaming around causing chaos. And so yeah, that one's pretty dangerous. But then when you look at Peter Jackson's Skull Island from the 2005 movie King Kong, that looks more dangerous than Jurassic Park, in my opinion, because, like, the predatory dinosaurs, they're bigger, they're, like, weirder. And, of course, you got the giant insects and other types of bugs, and, of course, the other, these crazy-looking bats and all that sorts of stuff. And, of course, Kong. And so, I think Peter Jackson's Skull Island is way more dangerous than say Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park. And so yeah, I would have to go with Peter Jackson's Skull Island. Speed Racer, your question: what is your favorite Cenozoic extinct mammal? This is a good question. I like this question. It's very broad of what you're asking me. I probably would say I like all of them. But in terms of which one do I actually grow fascination for, in terms of land mammals, I would have to go with Paraceratherium, because it's a giant rhinoceros relative, and it's just it's kind of poorly misunderstood by the public because they kind of think oh, it's a big elephant-like creature that looks like a giraffe, but really it's relative of a rhinoceros. I like Paraceratherium a lot because it's such a unique rhinoceros relative. But in terms of water living mammals, I have to go with Basilosaurus. Basilosaurus is pretty much one of my favorite mammals because of it's a whale, and a very extinct species of whale, and I just love how it looks, especially say the Walking with Beasts design and some of the other designs that have come out, especially some of the paleo art, the more recent paleo art. It's just really, really fascinating. And of course I got to see a Basilosaurus skull in the Field Museum, and so go check that out. But I mean, of course, a flying mammal, it's a bat mainly. But it's too broad, and I don't know too many extinct bats. But yeah, but in terms of a carnivore, predatory mammal, I kind of have a soft spot for Hyaenodon. Hyaenodon horridus. I actually like that one. But good question there, Speed Racer. Spinoceratopus fossil 6'5" Proceratosaurus. What a handle, man. What a handle. So, Spinoceratopus, your question: what is your favorite dinosaur? Well, if you actually checked out some of my videos, you should actually know, pretty much of what I wear most of the time when it comes to the dinosaur that I like the most. I love all dinosaurs. Don't get me wrong. I love all dinosaurs. I love all extinct creatures that have existed on Earth. But in terms of my favorite dinosaur, I'll give you a hint. Sue, Stan, Scotty, American Museum of Natural History specimen, the Carnegie specimen, the holotype specimen that Barnum Brown found. And it has the most powerful bite force of all land animals that have ever existed on Earth. It has great sense of smell, great vision, great hearing. And it was probably the most massive theropod dinosaur of all time, one of the most massive theropod dinosaurs of all time. And it's considered the most famous dinosaur of all. And you probably guessed it, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex is my all-time favorite. It's been my all-time favorite since I was a little kid. Basically from the land before time, because of the sharp tooth. The sharp tooth was the first Tyrannosaurus Rex I ever got to see in a film, because of how like scary it was when I first saw that. Because Sharptooth was an incredible villain. It was an incredible antagonist of a dinosaur. Then, of course, Jurassic Park, Rexy, you get it. And I got to see Sue, I got to see Stan, I got to see Scotty, and, of course, I got to see a replica of the American Museum of Natural History specimen. Scotty was a replica when I got to see it in the Tyrannosaurs Meet the Family exhibit. But I got to see Sue, and I got to see Stan. So those were the Tyrannosaurus Rex specimens that I have seen. But there's a few that I have not seen yet. But Tyrannosaurus Rex is my all-time favorite dinosaur. All right, Alex, your questions. Allosaurus versus Utahraptor, who would win? Ooh, good battle. Let's say Allosaurus and Utahraptor have never met. Let's get that out of the way. They never met each other. Allosaurus is from the late Jurassic. Utahraptor is from the early Cretaceous. And they're millions of years apart. But they did live in the same areas in terms of the United States. Because Allosaurus fossils have been found in Utah, and Utahraptor, being in its name, has been found in Utah. But of course, you got one's a dromaeosaur, one's a large theropod dinosaur. In terms of this could go either way. I would say Allosaurus wins by a hair, just because of the fact is that it's a larger animal, and of course, it's got all the tools it needs to actually fend itself against smaller predators. And so, because since Utahraptor is 23 feet long, and of course is tall as a human being, Allosaurus is slightly taller than a human being, and it can actually get to 30 to 35 feet long. I would probably say that Allosaurus comes out on top on this one, just because of the fact is that Utahraptor usually would not mess with an animal larger than a large carnivore than itself. Because, why bother to try to, injure something that it's going to hurt you more? Why do that? But yeah, I would have to give Allosaurus the slight edge on that one. Then your next question: do you think that hadrosaurs were the loudest of the non-avian dinosaurs? Good question. I like this question. Do I think they're the loudest? I think so, especially like the Lambeosaurians. They actually had those crests, and those crests were hollow, and they were able to make noise, make a lot of noise, especially those honking and low-frequency sounds that were be able to travel great distances. And also with being probably the loudest dinosaurs, you probably do get an advantage against predators, because you're trying to make as much noise as possible for that predator to stay away from you. And that's probably the best option. Of course, safety in numbers and all that, and so that's what you get. But even though ankylosaurs could actually take the cake on that one too, but I would still say that hadrosaurs definitely beat it out. Sauropods can possibly do it. They could possibly do it. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you that Hadrosaurs were the loudest of the non-avian theropod dinosaurs. I do agree with you on that one. All right, Brendan, your question. What is your thoughts on the research papers about Saurophaganax? I covered that, so at least you actually got that part. Got that part there. I covered that. All right, Benjamin, your questions. Which of these giant titanosaurs is the most famous one? Argentinosaurus or Dreadnoughtus? Ooh, that's tough. I would say Argentinosaurus is more famous in terms of name, but in terms of like appearances in like, and say like a major movie, Dreadnoughtus actually has a little bit more on that because it was in Dominion. But I probably would say both of them are in equal range. But even though Argentinosaurus has been shown more in documentaries, but I'd probably say they're pretty are on even ground on that one. Is Lusotitan a European species of Brachiosaurus? Kinda, but not. I think Lusotitan it is a sauropod. I know that for sure. I would have to say that I think it is because Lusotitan is going to be featured in Walking with Dinosaurs. And so I think it is going to be, I think it is a type of brachiosaurid because it does seem that way. It is categorized as a brachiosaurid. So yeah, it is a type of brachiosaurid. Gigantoraptor versus Therizinosaurus versus Dinosaurus. Which one has the size and weapons to win? Ooh. Gigantoraptor, a giant oviraptorid. Therizinosaurus, one of the largest Therizinosaurs, of course, hence the name, and Dinosaurus, relative to the ornithomimids. I don't think Gigantoraptor is going to have that much of a chance. I think Gigantoraptor would have a little bit more in terms of height advantage, but I don't think it's actually going to do too much against Therizinosaurus and Dinosaurus. But it all comes down to Therizinosaurus and Dinosaurus. Therizinosaurus has very thin claws, so I don't see it actually swiping predatory dinosaurs that much. It probably used them as a display structure to say, hey, stay away from me, you know? That's a possibility there. But with Dinosaurus, they have much thicker claws, and I'd probably say that Dinosaurus probably will come out as the victor in terms of that it could probably beat out those two. It could probably beat out those two because Dinosaurus is stockier, it's more heavily built. Therizinosaurus is still heavily built, and it's probably the longest of all of these dinosaurs, but it's still not quite. I'd probably say that Therizinosaurus would probably be stepped aside, even though it would probably still beat out Gigantoraptor. But Dinosaurus will win this one. And who would win, Acrocanthosaurus or Utahraptor? Good one. So both of these dinosaurs, they kind of lived at the same time, but not really. Utahraptor lived a bit earlier than Acrocanthosaurus. Acrocanthosaurus lived around the same time as Deinonychus, but kind of somewhat in the similar range. But Acrocanthosaurus would probably win this one because of the fact it's larger and it's more heavily built. Like I said with Alex's question about Allosaurus versus Utahraptor, Utahraptor is not going to bother to go after is not going to bother to fight something that is bigger than itself, mainly in terms of a carnivore. And so it's not worth it because, like, why risk trying to injure something that's going to hurt you more? You know, and so that's probably why I go with Acrocanthosaurus on this one. So that's all the questions I got for you today. So stay tuned a little bit later because I will have the Pelta special episode coming up. So stay tuned for that. So that'll be coming up. Just so you know, the reason why that this episode came a little bit later was having technical issues with the camera. And so I had to wait for an update to come up. And so when the update came, it was a little bit late. And so that's why this Q&A episode is a bit late. So just so you know, there was camera issues, but now they're resolved. That's why I got this recorded. And so after the special episode, so the next episode after the special episode will be an extra episode. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you guys know what kind of episode will be, what I'll be talking about for that extra episode. Stay tuned for that. And you can still send me questions about dinosaurs and other prehistoric life by emailing me at dinochris71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you should put your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment section. Don't put them on Messenger. Messengers for private conversations. So please put your questions in the comment section on any Facebook post. And also for you YouTubers out there, like the video, subscribe to the channel according to my analytics. A lot of you guys are checking out my channel and not subscribed yet, so please feel free to hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button, because that's how the YouTube algorithm works. The more likes the video gets, the more likely the video gets spread out to people that are interested in dinosaurs, prehistoric life, paleontology, and geology in general. So please feel free to do so. And also share the video, share the channel to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs, prehistoric life, paleontology, and geology in general. So please feel free to do so. And also you can hit that notification bell to get weekly notifications of every video that comes out. And also you get some poll questions that are being put out, because on the community tab, if you go to like my posts or the community tab, I actually have polls that are out for everybody to actually participate in and give me your opinions as well. Please feel free to do so. Make sure you respect each other in those comments, because because what I want here is a friendly community right here to talk about dinosaurs and prehistoric life, and we all love dinosaurs and prehistoric life on this channel, and that's what we want here is a very happy community. And of course, for YouTubers out there, leave your questions in the comment section, because I do read them all. Your questions do mean a lot in these Q&A episodes. So all of you to send me questions via email, Facebook, and YouTube. You guys are awesome. You're giving me some great questions for these Q&A episodes. So keep up with the great work. And also make sure you keep your questions short to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. We'll post pretty cool stuff on there. You could also follow me on Threads. Same thing at dino.chris.pf. We'll post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of people around you. Notice for you younger people out there, and it makes you listen. Your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you could have for good education. It's very important to have a good education. With a good education, get a good job in the future. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.